These 10 scary discoveries have changed the way people perceive their very existence. I'm sure after watching this video, no elm tree will ever look the same. Or the next time you have some binoculars and go hunting for lights in the sky. So let's unleash the top 10 scary discoveries found in unexpected places, if you dare. Stick around for number 1 because you wouldn't believe it if I told you. Number 10, the Belgian UFO wave. At around 11 p.m. on March 30th, 1990, an eyewitness reported that 3 unusual lights were seen moving towards Gembloux. 10 minutes later, some reports stated that the second set of lights were seen moving towards the first triangle. Witnesses claimed that the sighting was visible from the ground, describing the whole formation as maintaining the relative positions while moving slowly across the sky. Over the next hour, 2 F-16s attempted 9 separate interceptions of the targets, but the pilots never got a lock on any objects apart from the other F-16. Later, 4 lights were seen being arranged in a square formation, all making short, jerky movements, gradually losing their luminosity and disappearing in 4 separate directions at around 1:30 a.m. It is still a mystery as to what those lights were, but the speculation was that they may have come from alien intelligence. Number 9, Moa Birdfoot. Nearly 3 decades ago, a team of archaeologists were carrying out an expedition inside a large cave when they stumbled across a frightening and unusual object. With little visibility in the dark, they wondered whether their eyes were deceiving them, as they could not fathom what lay before them. An enormous dinosaur-like claw still intact with flesh and scaly skin. The claw was so well preserved that it appeared to have come from something that had only died very recently. The team eagerly retrieved the claw and took it for analysis. The results were astounding. The mysterious claw was found to be 3,300 years old, mummified remains of an upland moa, a large prehistoric bird that had apparently disappeared from existence centuries earlier. Number 8, Bella in the Wych Elm. On April 18, 1943, 4 local boys were poaching, or bird nesting, in Hagleywood when they came across a large wych elm. Thinking it to be a perfect opportunity to hunt for some birds' nests, one of the boys attempted to climb the tree to investigate. As he climbed, he glanced down in the hollow trunk and discovered a skull. At first, he believed it to be that of an animal, but after seeing human hair and teeth, he soon realized that he had found a human skull. On returning home, the youngest boy, Willits, felt uneasy and decided to report the find to his parents. The victim, who was a young girl, was murdered in 1941, almost 2 years before her body was found. Her remains were a gold ring and 1 shoe. After the revelation, graffiti started to show on the walls. But who put Bella in Wych Elm? It is suspected that the graffiti was painted by the murderer. Unfortunately, the victim could not be recognized, and no one knows who she is to date. Number 7, BARENTS sea craters. The otherwise flat seafloor between the island of Svalbard and Finnmark, Norway's northernmost county, is pocked by massive craters that were only discovered in the 1990s. Instead of finding just a few craters, researchers found hundreds of them. They range in size from 300 to 1,000 meters in diameter, and they have been blown out of solid bedrock. Mysterious giant holes were found in the tundra several years ago on the Jamal Peninsula in northern Siberia. Additional holes like these have appeared recently. We now know that the holes are likely from methane gas blowouts, just like the craters that researchers found in the Barents Sea. Methane gas chambers formed under the seabed during the last ice age. Up until the end of the ice age, they were capped by a kilometers-thick layer of ice. They have also been kept in place by frozen methane gas known as gas hydrates. It almost makes you wonder what else the sea is hiding. Number 6, Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls are ancient Jewish religious manuscripts that were found in the Qumran caves in the northern shore of the Dead Sea in the West Bank. The texts have great historical, religious, and linguistic significance because they include the second oldest known surviving manuscripts of work later included in the Hebrew Bible canon. Many thousands of written fragments have been discovered in the Dead Sea area. They represent the remnants of larger manuscripts damaged by the natural causes or through human interference, with the vast majority holding only small scraps of text. However, a small number of well-preserved, almost intact manuscripts have survived, fewer than a dozen among those from Qumran caves. Researchers have assembled a collection of 981 different manuscripts discovered from 11 caves. I guess we'll never know what was written on the ones that have been previously destroyed. Number 5. The frozen skier. Gregory Barnes was 24 years old when he went missing in the year 1980 in the Italian and Swiss Alps. He simply disappeared without a trace. Nothing of his whereabouts have been known until this week. Originally from Toronto, Canada, Greg Barnes was an avid outdoorsman. The day he disappeared, Greg was climbing to the top of a peak in the Bernina mountain range of the Alps with a group of skiers when he had trouble with his bindings and returned to the hut to fix the issue. After the fix, he was rushing to catch up to the group, fell into a deep crevasse and perished. Italian and Swiss search and rescue teams thoroughly searched the area, but they were unable to find Greg until his body was found in 2015. Number 4. The Bosnian spheres. In Bosnia, a controversial archaeologist, Samir Osmanagic, had found a giant stone sphere. It's impressively large, 4 to 5 feet in diameter, and has a high iron content. Only part of it was peeking out of the ground, but the man and his colleagues revealed the unseen portion. They were connected to a 12,000-year-old civilization. Other archaeologists who took a look found evidence of human inhabitants there, but going back just to the Middle Ages. These weren't the only spheres that have been found around the world. Archaeologists have found others in Costa Rica, carved from rocks. They were thought to be made from around 600 to 1000 AD, and first came to the attention of Westerners when workers for the United Fruit Company found them in the jungle, being cleared for banana plantations. But what are they for? We may never know. Number 3. The Man of Sligo. Storms during the winter of 2014 dramatically ripped a tree from the ground, revealing the upper skeleton of a man trapped in the tree's roots. His legs remained buried. The 900-year-old medieval skeleton revealed itself under a birch tree in Collooney, County Sligo. The remains are believed to be that of a young male who suffered a violent death. His skeleton shows evidence of cut marks on his ribs and hands, suggesting that he was fleeing from an attacker. To this date, he has not been recognized. Number 2. The Miami Piano. A grand piano was seen on the sandbar in Biscayne Bay Beach on January 26, 2011, in Miami, Florida. It is unknown how the heavy musical instrument was on the sandbar, but some speculated it may have been part of the music video production or was lost due to a storm. The piano was charred from being burned, although it was still in one piece. It did not work, and no one had the slightest clue where it came from. Of course, it looked artistic on the beach, and so people made it a selfie spot and started taking pictures of it. But where did it come from? We may never know. Number 1. The Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle or Hurricane Alley, is loosely defined as the region in the western part of the northern Atlantic Ocean, where several aircraft and ships are said to have disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Most reputable sources dismiss the idea that there is any mystery involved here. The vicinity of the Bermuda Triangle is amongst the most heavily traveled shipping lanes in the world, with ships frequently crossing through it for ports in America, Europe, and the Caribbean islands. Cruise ships and pleasure craft regularly sail through the region, and commercial and private aircraft routinely fly over it. Various disappearances have been attributed to the paranormal or activity by extraterrestrial beings. What's causing these disappearances? Where do they go? So the next time you plan a trip for the Caribbean islands, just beware of the path that you're taking. That was the top 10 scariest discoveries found in unexpected places. Which one of these freaked you out the most? Please let us know in the comments section below, and make sure to drop a like and also subscribe to Ultra Weird for more ultra weird stuff from around the world and beyond.